Week's This Is Home is about Riley Curfman. She is the first girl to become an Eagle Scout for the Kootaga District in West Virginia. She also recently finished her Eagle project of building benches for a trail system in Ravenswood. She grew up watching her brother in Boy Scouts. She jumped at the opportunity to become a scout when Scouting of America began allowing girls to join in 2019. Our Allison Powers talked to her about her journey in Scouts.
This is Home, sponsored by A1 Heating and Cooling and TB Dentistry.
While growing up, Riley Curfman would often participate in the Boy Scout activities when given permission. That's why when girls were welcomed into Scouts, Curfman did not hesitate to join.
I have been in Scouts for as long as I can remember. I was not necessarily in it whenever I was little because they didn't allow girls in it before, but I was always a tag-along whenever my brother was in it. So I would go along on all the events and participate as much as they would let me. And then in 2019, whenever they finally let girls join, I immediately took that opportunity and joined. And I've been in it ever since, so.
Curfman recently began her Eagle project to demonstrate leadership skills and move up in rank. For her Eagle project, Curfman chose to build benches for the major Kevin Clegg trail system in Ravenswood, West Virginia. Curfman said she always knew she wanted to build something in the community, so when the city of Ravenswood reached out to her with the idea, she said yes.
I've always enjoyed building and doing stuff like that. So building the benches, I had a lot of people help me. It was really nice, and the city of Ravenswood came up with the plans and the funding for me to be able to do this, which is really nice.
To build the benches and place them throughout the trails, it took Curfman about 5 days. 10 of the benches were placed in the Kevin Clegg trail system and 1 in the Stars plastic trails. Curfman said she was emotional while completing the project because becoming an Eagle Scout has been a goal she has had her whole life.
I was very sentimental about building the benches because working towards being an Eagle Scout has been my whole life, basically. I'm 18 years old now, but ever since I was little, I was just like a little scout, you know? And it's definitely, looking back, it's nice to think of like everything that has come before being an Eagle Scout. Definitely I will cherish all those memories, and I plan to make many more within Scouts too.
Curfman is the first female in the Kootaga District to become an Eagle Scout. She said she is very proud of herself because it is not easy becoming an Eagle Scout, and she hopes to encourage other females to join Scouts.
That it's not just a boy-dominated program. I know it stemmed as Boy Scouts, but once they let girls in, it was really a big step up because it allows so many people to come together and learn the aspects of leadership and developing those skills and being able to hone or explore different interests within the merit badges. It's important for everybody to be involved in Scouts, not just girls or not just boys.
Curfman said her favorite part of completing the Eagle project was the help she received from her dad.
Coming out to level the benches with my dad, we're very close, and I've done many projects with him around the house between building things and helping him out with just handiwork. But being able to just have some time with him was nice, to be able to walk out here and just talk while we have to walk to all the 10 benches around the 15 plus miles of trails. That was probably my favorite memory.
Scott Curfman, Riley's dad, said their family is all so proud of her.
We're very proud. Our mother and I, our entire family, are very proud of her. Riley's always been very involved in a million different activities. She split her time in a lot of different directions. So it was really kind of a challenge to be able to find time for scouting. But it's a great program, and it's been great for her. It's allowed her to really develop a lot of leadership qualities. She's got some natural leadership skills, but it gave her an opportunity to really practice those and improve them, which I think is going to help her later in life, throughout life.
Riley plans to become a leader for Troop 43 in the future.
Next step for me is probably becoming a leader and within my troop and continuing to lead the younger scouts so that they can also become Eagles.
In Ravenswood, I'm Allison Powers with WTAP News. This is home.